My pick this week was a 2022 film, One Piece Film Red, which is, of course, the story of One Piece, where they go to see a big idol, Uda. They go to see her concert, and she's a childhood friend with our main character, Luffy. But she also has, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say contract, I don't think it's exactly a contract, with some fucking big bad, and she traps everyone in a dream, and they have to escape there's a lot of terminology here that I'm, like, struggling to find words for, but you guys know what I mean. But they have to fucking beat the big bad to free themselves from the trap she's placed them in, and then, you know, Shanks comes in and helps save the day and all that.
Badass. Fun fact, this movie marks the first ever animated appearance of Luffy's Gear 5 form.
That's true. It does. That is, some people weren't into that. It's fine. Whatever. Fuck it. Bad fun fact, though. Terrible. Dylan, where'd you put this one?
You would pick me first. I think I'm gonna put this in A.
Okay. I'm thinking I meant like a B for this one here.
I am also at a flat B.
Jeez.
I'm at a B+.
Okay, I'd like to preface, the music is doing a hard carry.
As we imagined it would.
Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, as I mentioned to you guys before, and I'll make it obvious to the audience, I've been an Otto fan for a very long time. I knew these songs before I've seen this movie for, like, at least a year or two now, and I knew they came from this movie, so I was hyped to see this movie. And I think I was telling Jackson before, it's really cool seeing the lyrics in the actual movie, because then it matches up contextually and it makes a lot more sense. I still think the songs are great regardless. I mean, you know, the animation was the same as the other movies, I think. I'm not a huge fan of their 3D. They had a couple 3D things in there. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
That's actually one of the big things that stood out to me. Maybe I need to see the other ones again, but I feel like this movie specifically relied on 3D CG a lot more than the other ones did, and it does not look great.
Yeah.
And they use it a lot. Like, specifically with Uda, they'll, like, swap between her being 3D and 2D, and it just looks fucking jarring, to be honest, and it kind of took me out of it. Before I get, like, lost in the sauce here, too, I want to go back to your point about Otto and say two things about that. One, big fan of Otto as well. Love her music. I think it's a bummer that my favorite song of that album that is for this was only like a minute long. Fuck that shit, bro. Why'd they cut the best song to be so short? Dude, I don't know the name of it. Anywho, and then also her voice is just way too unique. And I know what they were trying to do, but, like, she sounds nothing like the voice actress for Uda, so it just is really fucking jarring when it goes between her talking and then her singing and then, you know, back and forth. They just sound nothing alike. I mean, I love Otto's voice, and that's, like, a big reason why I'm a big fan of her, because it's really unique and powerful, but it just does not fit at all with the character. And
it's
I know
so funny when they try and do that with, like, the child version of her, too. It's just like,
it makes no sense, dude.
Like, this is not doing what you think it's trying to do. Anyways, continue with your breakdown here, Dylan.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry at the end of this movie. Unsurprising to probably no one. And I think there's
cry
just
when reading One Piece all the time. It's chill.
I think there's just a lot of context I'm missing as far as One Piece goes. Like,
That's so facts.
Like, does Uta appear before now? Like, do we know she exists in the world? Okay, so that's strange to me in this context. And it's just like, I'm sure I would like this more if I actually watched it, which I guess it doesn't matter. I'm the highest on this movie, but like I said, I think the songs are carrying this movie hard. But it's just like, which is weird because I like Hunter x Hunter, but, like, for some reason Luffy has this weird companionship with his crew. Like, sometimes he really cares, and, like, sometimes he doesn't. And the scene that I'm specifically referencing there, and it's not part of his crew, granted, but it's like the end of the movie when we realize that Uta died and they're having a memorial service on the other ship as they're sailing away. He kind of just looks and almost has, like, this feeling of disregard. I might have been reading that scenario wrong, but it felt like it killed the mood a little bit, and I'm just like, I don't know how much I vibe with Luffy's character or how much this makes sense. But yeah, no, I do definitely agree with your guys' prior statement. Very jarring to hear the voice actress and then Otto and having it be two different people and them thinking that's okay. Yeah, the movie was fun. I might have to improvise on the ranking, because obviously, like I said, I'm doing it on the spot. A is just what felt right? I might just go down to A-. We'll see. I'll hear what you guys
Dylan
have to
hinted
say.
on something there that is my biggest gripe with this film, which is that there is just way too much context necessary for someone to know going into it. Like, I'll inherently have a problem with expecting the audience to have, like, a basic understanding of a property when going into a film. Like, you know, if you're gonna go watch the fucking Pokemon movie, then you should probably know what a Pikachu is. That seems like a simple assumption that the filmmakers can make. But, like, the problem here is that they assume you've experienced a massive chunk of One Piece, like, basically the whole thing up until this point. As a result, they just don't explain shit to you. Like, you have a fuckload of characters in this film with a lot of unique devil fruits. There are a ton of character relationships you need to understand. The hierarchy of the world government itself you need to have a firm grasp of. They've even got like fucking hockey in this film, okay? It's just like, there's too much, man. There's too much for you. Which I'd assume is a big reason why you guys were confused throughout it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot going on, and honestly, that leads into my biggest negative of the movie, is that it just feels really messy, and I'm sure things would get cleaned up with more context, like you said, but there's just so much fucking going on all the time, it feels like, and it's just, it boggles the brain a little bit, you know? It kind of took me out. It was hard to, like, really invest myself with it, because I was just constantly getting taken out by just being, like, maybe, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but you know what I mean.
I mean, even for me, who like, I know everything that happens in this movie, so I'm chill on that account. But even then, it's like there are way too many characters in it. Like the Big Mom Pirates didn't need to be here. Law didn't need to be here. Why the fuck does Sunny turn into a little character that does nothing? It's just way too much fan service. And as a result of like all these other characters being here, it kind of just detracts from the Straw Hats themselves. Because, like, just with the Straw Hats themselves, you have, like, a fuckload of characters there who you need to kind of, like, juggle between. And, like, they just, no, most of them don't do anything. What the fuck does Frankie do in this movie? It's, like, 2 lines. And so it's
he says basically everything in English.
He's a Straw Hat, man. What are they going to do, not include him?
Yeah, I
like,
guess
every
so.
single one of his lines were in English, am I wrong?
Which, like, you know, that's just his whole thing. He's the American.
Oh, I see.
Like, you know... there are way too many randos thrown in here. Like, I love Katakuri, but him being here just makes no sense. He doesn't need to be in this movie. Why the fuck is Carlos here? He's like that fucking... He's a celestial dragon. He's a big bad dude, okay? He's like the fucking apex of the world. He doesn't need to fucking be in this movie. It's weird that he's here. Like, I get he was here to, like, be used as a moment of catharsis, because you can't just beat the shit out of him in the normal series. But it just makes things so bloated and less capable of standing on its own as just a normal film.
Is his character supposed to be a joke where, like, he isn't actually, like, he can't do anything, but he has all this power, or is that...
Yes, he's a celestial dragon. They're, like, the ones who rule the world, basically. They're the world nobles. You are not allowed to do anything to them. They can just do whatever the fuck they want. They can kill, they can enslave whoever they want to. And if you go against them, the admirals show up and they fucking murder you. That's their whole deal.
I figured that was the context I was missing.
But, like, their power isn't really based on anything?
No, it's just that they have a long history of ruling the planet at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
They sound so easy to overthrow.
Unfortunately, they have the entire Navy in their pocket, so you can't do much to them.
I don't want to turn this into the We Ask Nico Every One Piece Question in Existence session. Oh, how are we supposed to tell the difference... How are we supposed to tell the difference between who has a devil fruit and who doesn't? Like, does Shanks have a devil fruit, or is he just fucking powerful? How does that work?
No, he's a hockey man.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't know what that is.
No, a hockey is their power system aside from devil fruits. He's just a strong dude.
That's what I thought. Just had to make sure.
Is this our first time seeing Shanks show up in an animated thing?
I mean, like, he's in the anime a few times, but Shanks generally does not show up at all throughout the series, and there's good reason for that. Like, Shanks' whole deal, Luffy, his straw hat, he's just borrowing it from Shanks, and Shanks told him, give it back to me the next time you see me when you're a real pirate. And, so, you know, he can't find Shanks, otherwise he gets rid of the straw hat.
Right.
That's why they need to have some way for Shanks and Luffy to fight together, but, like, you know, they can't actually see each other while this is happening.
Oh.
What's really funny though too is like a lot of other animes that I'm currently experiencing. The speaking of the power system, there's just like no like, limits on it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Uta's devil fruit is busted as hell, and the only reason she lost is because, like, she gave into her emotions.
She didn't want to win.
Yeah. Like, literally, there's just, like, she could just put people to sleep in a spirit world with her voice, and then she can just drain their souls or something like that. This movie's crazy. It's like you said, it does a hell of a lot of exposing, expecting you to know what's going on. So I'm here for the vibes. I might have ranked this movie on vibes and music. So
yeah, I mean, like, in regards to, like, Uta's power too, it's like the stakes in this film are insane for One Piece. It's like 70% of the world is gonna die. When like the worst thing that happens in One Piece is, like, the world government has this ability to just, like, wipe islands off the face of the planet. And, like, that's the biggest thing we have to contend with right now. And it's like, oh, okay. So that seems pretty small scale compared to what's happening here.
After all this discussion, this feels like a really basic-ass complaint with this movie, but it is my biggest one, which is that, like, the first half even of this movie is just kind of a bunch of music videos that are very loosely tied together with a plot, and I think that's not great for a film.
I do kind of agree with that. I like I said, I am probably the biggest advocate for the music in this movie. I did think it was a little awkwardly inserted. Also, it wasn't, I'm not expecting them to be the full songs, but, like, they weren't even the full songs too, and they kind of just went from song to song. I was gonna say, in regards to that, I do think it's funny how, and maybe I missed context, so Nico, you can correct me on this, just Uta takes the stage, and then the next thing I hear is these guys, these bigwigs in government office, like, oh, she's got a power, we have to stop her or else the world is doomed. I'm like, why is the world doomed? What kind of power does she have? What the fuck am I missing here? And I guess you could say, like, oh, they went on to explain it later, but I feel like if you're gonna make such a big deal out of a character we think is just innocent and has nothing to do with anything, you make that kind of statement, you should probably have some context to it before you just say, this power is going to end the world. Did I miss something, or am I, like, safe?
No, I think the film does a decent job of showing why it's a big deal.
I mean, yeah, after the fact. I'm saying, like, I feel like that should have been said before.
That's just them sort of, like, creating some tension for you. I don't think it's that big of a deal there.
I don't know. To me, it just felt like it was, like, a weird moment where it's like, I should know what's going on, but I don't. And that's why I asked if Uta was in this before the film.
No.
So that's why it makes even less sense to me now.
Going back to the songs, they had, like, random sections where they'd have a song playing, and then it just, like, cut really abruptly to some other random shit happening. They did that a few times, and it was also another random thing that was jarring. We've been dogging on this film a lot. Let's talk about some positive things.
Yeah. I was going to get to that.
Outside of the crappy CG that they use more than they should, there is still a lot of really solid 2D animation, specifically as with, like, that final scene. I think there's a lot of really cool shots in there. It's One Piece. It's still just, like, some wacky fun. The characters are interesting to watch, you know. It's just fun seeing shit happen. I do think the emotional crux of the story was good as well. I felt sad for Uta. I think they resolved her arc in a good way. You know, I think generally what the basis of this is fine. It's just it was dragged down a lot by random other shit happening.
Yeah, I mean, there were some great shots throughout this film, too. Like that one where it's, like, her just, like, in this black void with, like, orange rain coming down. That was super cool. I was a big fan of that. The characters had some great drip throughout the film. Like, when Uda's like, I'm gonna make you all look like bad guys then. They get these sick-ass outfits. He's definitely into that. The fucking Demon King, he had a cool design.
Oh, yeah.
I have complaints about him, but he had a cool design at the very least.
What are your complaints?
I mean, fucking, like... So, like, if people needed to attack him from, like, the real world and the dream world at the same time, how did Shanks beat him the first time?
Oh, yeah.
He's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah, I guess so. I just wasn't that into that part. Also, just the general idea that, like, why did she form this... Like, why did she summon him to begin with? It doesn't really seem like it's gonna help her whatsoever to do so. She just kind of went for it. I don't get it.
I assumed it was she's retarded kind of thing.
Yeah, that would make sense. This film also just has like way too many plot twists throughout it. Fucking
Yeah.
The first big one, I was totally fine with. I was on board with it, where we get, because Jax and I were very confused at a certain point in this movie. Where I was like, "Hang on, why is it showing like Luffy and shit asleep right now? If we just saw them walking around, what's happening? Did we miss something here?" But then the big reveal: oh, there are two separate worlds now. They're trapped over here. That was cool. I was super into that. But then like, we just keep getting these reveals about like, oh, what happened back when the fucking island was destroyed? It's like, oh. Obviously, Shanks couldn't have done it. Huh? What's going on here? Oh, she summoned the big bad, and that's what did it. Okay, that makes sense. And so, you know, she has to be left in the dark about it, otherwise she'll go crazy or something. But why did we need the additional twist? Oh, she knew. Yeah, she was aware that happened.
That was a weird
strange
addition, I agree. Like, I don't fully agree with that. I kind of just went with it because, you know, fuck it. But I was like, why did she have to know about it? What difference does that make?
I don't get it, but
if anything, that would deter her from using it again, I feel like.
You'd think so. It is cool, though, that we get to actually see Shanks in something, because, you know, like I said, he can't really be in any of the other shit for good reason. And, like, you know, Shanks' crew has, like, some big people in it. Particularly, like, Usopp's dad. We never get to see Usopp's dad throughout any of the other shit. But, you know, here, we actually get to see the two of them work together. It's pretty sick. It's like, oh, yeah, Usopp, he, like, is the reason we get to win in the end. Because him and his dad are fucking working together here. That was awesome. I was a big fan of that. It does kind of spoil something about Shanks, though, in this movie. I don't know why they did that. There's a reveal here that, oh yeah, he's a world noble, which was not revealed in the manga up to this point. I don't know why they had to include that here, but oh well, I guess.
So, regardless of whether this movie's canon or not, that is true.
Yes, it does reveal some canon info, gotcha. Which is weird. I don't like that, but you know, c'est la vie, I suppose.
Very strange in a non-canon movie for you to put something that is canon and...
You know, Uta's also real, though. They get her in here. She's a real character, just nothing that happens here is real.
You know, I'll say a last couple things about Uta, because I don't really have anything else to say about this movie, and Jackson knows this about me.
She's such a little cutie.
I do like her design. I have a soft spot for anime girls who sing, if it's not already obvious. It should be very obvious. I do like the little thing she does with, like, they animate with her little hair loops, like, when she's sad, they, like, droop, and then when she's happy, I like that cute little addition. I enjoyed Uta's character in general, though. Not my favorite design, but, you know, she's a anime singer, so it helps a lot.
Jackson, what were you about to say? What was it?
I was going to point out that we've spoken about this movie, like, twice as much as The Pianist.
Okay, one last thought.
Deservedly so, there's more going on here.
One last... I don't know about that. One last thought, I suppose. The song, Where the Wind Blows, and you guys have no clue what the fuck I'm talking about. You might, I don't know. Where the Wind Blows. That song has not made me cry since I first heard it, and it made me cry again when I watched this movie. And now whenever I hear an Uta Red song that pops up on my playlist, I get a little teary-eyed, especially on Where the Wind Blows. I fucking love that song. The song's great.
The music in this movie is pretty dang solid.
It's so fucking nice, man. Hell yeah,
I like
Jackson.
that her plan is just to do the human instrumentality.
That's true.
Yeah, that shit is funny. It's literally just the plot of Evangelion.
Yeah.
Jackson, I'm pretty sure that song you were talking about where it just ends, it's in the middle, I'm assuming is when she's, like, fighting. It's that one. The one that you just shared.
Dude, I don't fucking know. They do that with a bunch of random shit that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
With Backlight, they just do, like, a minute. They do, like, an anime opening section of it where it's just, like, the intro, and then they do one chorus, and then it ends, and it bummed me out because I want them to do the whole song.
I want to hear the whole thing.
I don't think it'd be bad to hear the whole song. But anyway.
Another positive, though, guys. Another positive. I do like that they have some fun gags in this movie. It's a silly time, you know, like when they're given a big, massive lore dump and Luffy's just stacking stones because he doesn't give a fuck about it. That's true to the anime, too. He also does that. He has no idea what's happening in the plot at any given time. He does not care.
I like when they're all stuck up on the music fucking bars, I guess, and the skeleton guy was just forced to look at Nami's panties. Big fan. Maybe this is an S tier movie after all.
I'm sure he was a big fan of that too.
He's a skeleton. Does he have like? Is he not like Ace?
Unfortunately, not. He's constantly asking women if he can see their panties. That's like one of his gags.
He's just trying to give them one of his bones.
Oh,
I figured like the bit was that he's a skeleton, so he didn't give a shit. But Nami was freaking out because
It's about decency, Jackson. Come on.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah. I'm not getting into that. Never mind. One final minor complaint about this movie. I don't like Frankie's voice. I don't like his Japanese voice. It should be much gruffer and like more boisterous.
Alas.
They did him dirty.
They never do these kinds of things, Nico. You know this to be true.
Alas. It's bullshit. To answer Tanner's question that he was asking when he was watching the movie, no, splashing water on Luffy won't just like get rid of his powers.
So why...
That seems like a really weird thing to just make up for the movie.
Yeah. You can either explain that away by they were in the dream world when that happened, so like maybe it's just some weird dream logic, or it's a movie, so they can be a bit looser with the canon, I guess.
Sure.
Well, guys, is that One Piece film red?
Oh yeah, it is.
Might be. I think it's a little bit worse than a couple of the other ones we've seen.
Yay! I'm sticking at B2.
I'm gonna go down to a B.
There we go.
I did some thinking and some looking over to solidify my rank. I do like this more than the other One Piece movies, which isn't hard. I'm just gonna give it a B+.
You guys are not gonna fucking believe this. 3 Bs and a B+ landed it at a B+?
Oh.
Compared to the other One Piece films, who's to ever know? But it's probably somewhere in that area.